So I'm really pooped today. My back was twinging like crazy, but I've been okay. I've been bottling wine, so I will show you. Pretty. Look how clear. You can almost see through it. Very nice. It's a cherry wine from last year, and I had to wait a long time to bottle it, so it's like a year ago, almost to the day, that I would have started this batch, but I have to wait a long time because I'm not using anything to kill the yeast, so I'm letting the yeast die out naturally after it has consumed all of the sugar, because I don't want the sugar and I don't want anything in there that killed the yeast, so because that would give me headaches perhaps, and it's just not healthy. So I'm going to be using this for cooking, so I really don't care. But I bought these pretty bottles from last year, and I was looking forward to putting this in because they're so nice, and they say roses on the back. So I think I'm going to bring one like this to my grandma for a treat, but I don't know. Maybe I'll try the ones, like I have about half a carboy to go that I'm going to bottle normally in wine bottles, and well, then I have another 3 carboys of other kinds of wine to go. But I'll do that later because I'm just doing this tonight. And anyway, I'll do the rest of this carboy of cherry wine in regular wine bottles. And if it looks pretty, prettier than these, then I'll bring that from my grandma. Anyway, so I started a new batch in the primary fermenter, which is just a 5-gallon bucket. And really what I should be doing now that my back is bad is not using a 5-gallon bucket and using smaller carboys. But this is the equipment that I already have, so this is what I've been using. And how I do it is I make sure, okay, I'll explain. First, you put in your fruit in the bucket, and that was about, I've already explained how to do this last year, so you can get a better idea, a more precise idea, I suppose, by watching last year's stuff, but I'm just going to tell you how to do it. And this is not the traditional method, but anyway, you take about 4 or so, maybe 5 of these. You just go by what you feel like picking. And you don't have to pit them. These ones are not pitted yet, and I've been pitting what I'm picking to put, like, say you have a bunch of cherries that aren't that good looking or whatever, and you don't want to eat them and drink them in smoothies, whatever. Then wine. It's great. You don't have to pit them to make your wine. You just put 4 or so like this from your tree, not my tree. I do things with my cherries. So, and you stick it in the bucket, and then you boil a pot of water, and you pour a little off onto the cherries because you need to have room for your sugar. And I forgot to bring a bag of sugar out, but it's one of those bags of sugar that's about yay big. I think they're 4 kilograms. So you take that, just regular sugar, and you put it into your boiling water and dissolve it. So you might need to pour some off and then pour the rest of the sugar in it and dissolve it, because and the water gets very heavy with the sugar in it. I don't know how that works out, but it's amazing. So I remember my nephew once saying to me, he was shocked by how much sugar, he must have just learned how much sugar was in a can of Coke. And he was like, how do they get that in there? Well, this is how. You dissolve it. And it somehow fits. I don't know. It's like magic. Sugar and dissolving in fluid. Anyway, so I'm very tired, so I might miss some steps. So you might want to go back to my blogs from like a year ago. So you have your fruit, and you pour your dissolved sugar water on your fruit. And then you take, now in this case, I tried a little experiment last year where this is my pulp bucket of limes. So I haven't taken that out to the garden yet because I'm tired. And so you can use other things, but you want something citrusy. And with the cherries, it's not that important if you're using sour cherries like mine. But you probably should acidify it a little bit. If you're using other kinds of fruit, you will definitely need to acidify it. Oh, well, not everything. There are some things that are quite tart on their own. But, anyway. So, I used 10 limes today, which worked out to be like this size. This is cucumber in here. But that size of glass full. So that's what I put in my bucket. And then I put in about 2.5 teaspoons, or about that, of pectic enzyme. And then Brita water, because I was not wanting to boil and let cool so much more water. So that's about it. And then I'm just waiting a while to make sure the temperature is about room temperature, and it should be about that now. But then I will sprinkle wine yeast on top, not bread yeast. Not, you need to go to get wine yeast if you are making wine. So I'll sprinkle the wine yeast on top, and then I will close up the bucket and stick a bung plug in there so that things don't get in. And put some water in there so it's I'm really tired. I'm doing too much today. But so that the gas can still come out. Now what you can do is you can just lay a towel over your bucket. That'll work. Or you can put the lid on, and then if you have your hole for the bung plug, say all of yours are being used up, well, you can just stick a towel over that and then weigh it down on the edges so fruit flies don't get in there or whatever. But eventually you will need the plug when you move it to the carport and stuff. So it's not that big deal right now, but so tired. I still have this bucket of cherries to pit and the rest of this carboy to bottle, and I decided to make a bunch of cucumbers, so I got started on boiling the water to dissolve the stuff for that. And I decided, like, I broke a dish and I was like, yeah, I need to rest for a minute and eat, because I'm just going to continue doing things wrong if I continue. So I made myself a sandwich. Cucumber, bell pepper, red onion, and shiitake bacon. Yum. So, and then I'll have a nectarine. And then I'll get back to work, I guess. I'm playing some sort of a Star Wars movie for the third time in the background, so there's lots of meow, 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 meow noises and explosions. And I don't get it. It seems to keep dogs pretty quiet though, so I'll just keep pressing play when it runs out. You know, it's like the acting is, well, they did get, lately they got one good actor, so, but now that they've killed off Harrison Ford, anyway, but I just I don't understand, you know, how did he even get funding to make the original movie, because it was all bad actors besides Harrison Ford, and there's not a good story, it's not a good anything, it's all special effects, it's all explosions and this and that, and I don't get it. You know, it's like so many people of my generation just, oh, they think it's so great, and I just keep my mouth shut about it, but I don't care anymore. It's not great. It sucks. The rest of you guys in my generation who like that stuff, you drank the Kool-Aid. I need to get something. I've told people this before. Somebody needs to invent it for people like me. Something that'll move with you, so you can just walk along, kind of like a walker, but it's in the back of you, and so you can like sit down with it and stuff, and stand up, and it'll like help support under your armpits. I don't know how to invent that, but somebody's got to do it, because it's really hard to hold myself up. And maybe some people are happy using a walker, but there's no way that that would work for me. How am I gonna like pick cherries with a walker? And I need something that I can move around, climb mountain. I need to be able to climb mountain with whatever holding me from behind it. That's what I need. Oh, I smell really sweet, because I've already pitted 3 of those, and I'm sticky. You might have not have been able to see from there. There's a wasp right around me. It's very interested in me, because I smell like cherries. forgot to put tomato on my sandwich. My mom told me not to bring her any food. But I bought all these cucumbers, and she loves pickles and pickle juice. Like, nothing's gonna get wasted if I bring her some pickles. I don't know how much I can accomplish for the rest of the night. These nectarines aren't good. You'll hear it's crunchy. This one wasn't as bad as the last one, but honestly, it's sour. Which I don't mind, because I don't mind sour, but nectarines shouldn't taste sour. Doesn't even taste sweet at all. This is my bikini of the day. It's not really a bikini. It's more like a tank top thing, but whatever. It's not that hot today. This one just made sense. I don't know where James is. Should have been back by now. I started making him dinner and then I realized I don't know if he's gonna come back. I don't know. So I stopped. Just a little bit. It's my deck supper, I guess. I already had Greek salad today and kale juice and stuff. I'll have oatmeal before I go to sleep, and I guess more garlic because I forgot to have it now.